Hello everyone, welcome to Heart Conversation. First video in 2022 and I have two guests. But before that, thank you so much for 2021, the good times, the comments, the love, the support. I'm so grateful, I'm so full with love. And I've grown so much with all the videos that we had, the stories that we've shared. Um, they make you feel comfortable and that you're not the only one that going through tough time, that we're all broken, but we just have to embrace it and love each other, and hold on to the good times and never let go of everything that we had that has happened to us. But enough about that. Let me just welcome my beautiful ladies. Two beautiful ladies. You're gonna see them more often, hopefully. But we'll start from that side.
Hi guys, my name is Ambisiwe.
My name is Chocha.
And my name is Yolanda Mahayeng, and I'm the host. That was so cool. I got the attention, guys. Thank you so much. And today we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a conversation because these two ladies, they are full of wisdom. So grab your book if you need to, and you need to listen and learn. Because I'll be doing the same thing. I'll be learning from them because they're so mature and full of wisdom. And they always say that we need to learn from the young ones because they're not doing the same thing that we've done long time ago. When I look at this age now, and I always think, what was I doing at that time? And probably I'll be like, oh, well, I didn't know, what am I doing here? Probably I thought, why was I born? Who am I? There were a lot of questions that I had, but they know who they are. But today we're going to be talking about new season. And yeah, they just entered a new season. And I would like to know, how do they feel? What is a new season?
Sure.
How can you describe this term, new season? Yeah. How do you define it? Or maybe let me not say define it. What is new season in your life?
In your life.
Wanna start?
Should we start by how I feel about it? Because it's tense. It's tense, but new season, my brain associates definitions and meaning with other things. Like other people will be like, oh, this is the definition, but I think I think the word would be tense. Yeah, because new seasons are tough. Are tough. There's a lot of new things coming. It's new people. It's learning how to adapt to those new people, speak to those new people, interact. Because we're human, so we need to first learn before we get to that good groove. But by new, my brain associates definitions and meanings with things that people don't normally associate it with. So for me, when I hear new, I think green.
Sure.
Because green equals fresh. Are you guys here by my thinking?
Grass.
Yes. Are you here by my thinking?
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, for me, new means green, means clean. Also means clean. Yeah.
For me, I'd say the same. I think it's how I feel about new seasons is not always nice, but it's good. And for me, how I associate a new season, I always think of spring.
Sure.
It's colorful, it's different, and it sometimes comes after a rough season, if that makes sense. So it's like, okay, cool. It's like expectant, like, okay, something's coming, and then you see the little flower blossom, and it's just like, oh wow. It's that aroma also, just like that fresh intake of like, wow. So I feel
it's
like
so funny that you have sinuses and you want to speak about the new aroma.
Wow, because I'm just like
we love hay fever.
but we love spring.
we love spring. Like spring is it's an exciting time. Like everyone knows spring day. Like
yes,
it's spring day. You get to a bucket of water. Like it's exciting, even though it could be cold or whatever. But everyone knows spring day is like it's a thing.
You want to be colorful.
You want to be colorful. You
You want
want
to wear your dress.
with flowers.
Mm.
It's like you mentally step into something different. Like
Yeah.
you wake up and you're like, nah, this is different.
Yeah.
Like you feel different. Like there's something, there's an excitement in you that's like, no, there's something coming, something different. So for me, that's how how I feel when it comes to music. It's like there's something fresh. It's like you said, the greenery. It's it's different. It makes you put a smile on your face. Like you can't help but be like, wow, okay, we're going somewhere.
There is hope after
There's
all.
hope after all, yeah.
Wow. And you know, as I'm thinking that you just mentioned spring, right?
Yeah.
And before spring is winter,
Yeah.
right? And for sure, when you say it's a new season, you're expectant of new things.
Yeah.
And immediately when you think about new things, you think about good things.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
think about
Yes.
good things. But now what if now the new season, it's a season of growth. And season of growth comes with challenges. Now, how do you penetrate in this new season with challenges that makes you feel like it's still dark?
Yeah.
That makes you feel like it's still dark, you know? But you still have to keep that thought, that positivity, that it's still a new season.
Yes.
You know? It's still a season of dresses.
Yes.
It's a season.
Yes.
I need to take off my scarf now.
Mm.
Now I need to wear a vest,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
a short dress. I need to be free.
Yes.
Now, but with all these challenges, now there's still that storm, there's still that wind that is blowing. Now you still have
You
to
need
hold
to-
on your dress, you know, your hair, you know, everything you still need to hold, you know. So now you become uncomfortable,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But yet you said it's in the
It's a new
season.
season.
So how do you penetrate to this new season with that thought of, as much as it's tough, you know, you know, I'm pushing through, but what is it that keeps you going?
Sure. I feel like I'm gonna say it again, but like there's like, I don't know, it's something like she said, like you mentioned, like you have to take a scarf off, you have to take the coat off. But taking those off doesn't mean you're losing the coat or you're losing the scarf. You're gaining a new dress. If that makes sense. Like you're gaining something new.
Sure.
So I feel like it's not a bad thing that you're like you're saying, you will feel like it's hard because you're losing something. So I think that's the thing with the new season. It's not necessarily that it's a tough time. It's you are losing the skins of the old season.
Yeah.
So now you're having to adapt to the new dress, the new hairdo, the way the climate is changing in this season. Okay, cool. The winds are blowing this way. It's going this way now. So I think it's that. It's not necessarily it's a bad change. It's a good change. That's to show that there is growth in you.
Yes.
So I think, like you're saying, removing the scarf, removing the coat, removing all those things is actually a good thing.
Yes.
But because you got used to wearing the coat, you got used to having the scarf. Now you're kind of like, whoa, what's happening? Now you start praying, Lord, please help me keep the scarf. Please help me keep this coat. But he's saying, no, let it go. Like take it off. Like it's a new season. You step into something different. I think in those moments, in those tough seasons, when I think about it, I think it's actually it's tough because we are thinking we are losing, but we're actually gaining so much more.
Sure.
And gaining means you have to carry something that you're not familiar with.
Yes.
It's putting on more than you would usually have in your hands.
Sure.
So I think it's that feeling of, okay, cool, there's more onto my plate, but it means I'm stronger now because I don't have to carry a coat anymore, but I have 2 extra dresses now. You know, it's that thing of like, actually stepping back and going, I've changed, I'm growing, and I'm learning. Because again, every level has a new devil.
Yes.
It's a saying I will always say. With every level, there's a new form of attack. So with the new level, it will feel like it's something. It will feel like it's a bigger aggression, but hey, you're 10 times bigger.
Yes.
If that makes sense. I think it's with that. It's like in that season, it feels transitions is not nice.
Yes.
So I think that transition is where it can either make you get stuck in the old season and neglect the new one, or you can get into the new season but having old stuff on.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
And then you don't actually fully grow into your new season. So I think it's it's that thing where fighting the battle in your mind first, so you can carry out into the new season properly and say, you know what, actually, I can do this. God's given me the gift. He's given me this. I've trained for this. The pressure that I was experiencing, I gained tools for this. So actually, I'm stepping into this equipped.
Sure.
But you don't think about it because in the moment you're feeling the loss that's happening around you.
Sure.
So I think it's the battle that happens here, and kind of having to navigate between the old and the new, and saying, you know what, I don't need a scarf. I don't need this. But to be where I am now, I need the tools of why I was wearing a scarf. You need to know why you had to do those things. So when you are wearing your dress and your whatnot, you're like, okay, cool, I can be confident in this now. So I think that's the analogy of clothes.
I love it. I feel like it's also perfect just for like the transition from teenager / like senior high schooler to adulthood.
Yes.
Because you learned the tools in high school and sometimes a little harder to apply it into the real world. But if you don't step up as a young person, then it's always difficult and you'll always feel like, why is the world against me? But you need to use those skills. But with what you were saying, like for me, new seasons feel like, you know when you've just bought a new set of like shoes, like sneakers, and like when you first wear them, they're not so great.
They haven't shaped your foot yet.
You're like, why did I buy this? What was the point of me actually buying this? Because you just need to first get settled in. Like you first need to just, okay, cool, this is my season. Like this is my season. I'm now here. And the more that you walk in those shoes, the more they will be adapted for the life you're about to lead. But like if you don't touch them at all now because, hey, they didn't feel great, then you'll never wear those sneakers, which means you'll never step into your new season. You'll never actually experience the fruits of that new season. You'll stay in that winter of, these shoes feel horrible, it's uncomfortable. Like, and I think also something we need to change is just the perspective of like, I think we all love new, like new shoes, new clothes, like, yes, it's nice. But with new, I think if you think of a new job or a new school, immediately, like, the first thing that comes to mind to me personally isn't, oh yes, it's like, oh no, I need to make new friends. I need to meet new teachers. It's fear. It's fear creeps into your life. And I think if you change the perspective of actually new is not bad, it means there's a change. It means there's a change, not there's something that's going to distract me. I think if you see the change in it and less of the what could go wrong, I think you'll even just be better equipped. And I think that's something I'm still learning, still the process of learning, that new doesn't necessarily mean bad, because immediately my mental is like, game over, it's new now. Like, and it's just the reminding myself that no, it's just change. And yes, change is uncomfortable, but to get to the next place, you need to go through this season of uncomfortability.
And you know, as you're talking, I'm just thinking of the fact that in my mind, I'm just asking myself, why do we struggle to receive new? You know, and as I'm thinking is the fact that we bring the old to the new. So if we bring the old to the new, which means now we will never experience the new
in its fullness.
You know, but the new actually is supposed to be something that you've never seen before.
Exactly.
So if it's something that you've never seen before, you cannot be having expectations of something. You cannot pinpoint that this is what you know. So now you are open for anything that comes. You know, so it can be uncomfortable. It can be a challenge, a new challenge. But now when that challenge comes, it's new. But we're already rejecting it. You know, but we don't know that challenge. What is that challenge coming with? Because it could be that challenge is bringing something that will will bring out my character.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes we have that mentality of this is who I am.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
this is who I am, so I cannot change who I am.
Mm.
But the new things must come.
Yes.
You know, the new things must come, but I cannot change myself.
Mm.
But how am I going to experience the new things if I'm bringing the old self?
Yeah. Oh.
Sure.
You know,
like
how
that.
am I gonna experience the new if I'm bringing the old self? Because the old self doesn't know how to spend money.
Mm.
The old self doesn't know how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
But now, if I come as I am, as like, you know what, whatever comes, I want to learn. So I'm opening myself to learn new things. So now when I come, I listen. So now I'm learning a new skill of listening skills. You know, instead of coming with that thing that I know.
Yes.
You know, I know.
Mm.
You know, so I was just thinking of that, but where I'm getting at is, so because we mustn't look at the season as if it's like 2 seasons. There are so many seasons. There are so many seasons. You know, there's a season of planting. There's a season where you don't see anything.
Yes.
There's a season of you see something coming out, and then you see, there's a hope. You know, but the time when there was nothing coming out, it felt like there was nothing happening. Now you even think, did I really plant it right?
Yeah.
You know, is it really a good soil?
Yes.
You know, did I water it enough? Or maybe I watered it too much. You know, so you have that doubt and that confusion, that you know, you don't know where you should go. If you are doing something right, you know, where you're going, you don't know. But you know, then that hope comes, we hold on to it. You know, and they say that when you're going through the tunnel, you know, a dark tunnel, but there's a light. But when you see the tiny light, and then you have a hope that okay, something is coming, but you don't even know the distance of that light. You know. So now my question is, what I would like to understand is, how do you know the season that you were in before? You know, what if that season actually was a great season, was summer? But now you're still expectant of a new season. But now you're coming from summer, you're expecting of a new season, and you're so excited, and then autumn comes.
All the flowers start dying.
Exactly. So what is that one thing that defines, that differentiates the old season to the new season? That one thing that you can say that that was my dark season.
I think it's when I started questioning everything I knew that I was good at. Because a lot of the times, like you're saying, when you're coming from summer into that winter, it's very easy to forget why you started something. So in that winter season, you start to ask yourself, actually, why did I start when I started? And you will actually find out in those seasons that whether you started for the right reasons or for selfish reasons.
Yes.
Sure.
And then you also stop for the right reason or for a selfish reason. So I think a lot of the time your intentions are shown clearly in those winter and those dry seasons. But at the same time, it's not don't take them for granted as well. Because then they can also show you where you're supposed to go next. For me, for example, I always feel like a winter season in my life has always been finances. In the sense that there will be a summer month and then a strong winter month.
Strong.
I like the emphasis.
Strong winter month, and then it's summer again, and then it's autumn where it's like, okay, cool, the leaves are falling, it's not as fun. Then it's spring, okay, cool, there's something happening. And I always feel like there's such an emphasis on the freedom that finances can come with when it's summer. It's like, I can do whatever I want. But then you forget at the time that when you were in winter, what you said, you promised what you're going to do when you get to summer. Like you make all the like, Lord, when I get to summer, I'm going to bless this person. I'm going to do this type of thing. So I think it's also that your summer can sometimes not be a blessing because you're not doing the things you were asking for or what you said you were going to do when you were in winter. So I think for me, my dark times were always finances growing up, because yet again, like single parent type of vibe, and you tend to always feel like, can I not, can I do this, can I not do this? And also for my mom, it was hard for her as well, because she wants to give her daughters the best, the world.
Yes.
But then sometimes the world is not the world. Sometimes it's just this flower. But it's learning to be grateful for also for the flower, whatever, it's not even the world, you know. But like for me now, I'm in a season where I'm starting to kind of see that light at the end of the tunnel. But like you said, I'm now having to be mindful of the distance between me where I am and the light is. Because as much as I'm seeing the light, I still have to be mindful that as I'm going closer to the light, it also means the light in me has to grow stronger as well. As I'm going there, I shouldn't be staying in the dark mentally as well. Like I have to be growing as I'm going closer to the light. And with that, like I'm learning more about finances. I'm learning about, okay, cool, decisions making and how not to make the same mistakes that past generational curses have kind of like been over the families, where it's like there's always a burden, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna break that. Like I want to be the end of that. I want my kids to be like this, and I want this for my family. Like making decisions now that they couldn't have done back then, because the aim is that I want to be at least 5% better. It may not, I'm not asking for 100, I'm asking for at least 5% better, because at least it's a different level than where it was before.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. And yet again, yes, I'm still young, but because I'm young, I should take full advantage of the season that I'm in. Because it's a season where you can be selfish, you can choose to be selfish, you can choose to be selfless. So it's how you decide to choose, okay, cool, I'm young, but can I make stupid decisions that are selfish? Or can I be selfless and build myself and those around me as well? Because at the end of the day, when I'm 40 something, do I still want my friends to be with my life, or do I want to be by myself and being somewhere in the top, but I'm lonely? That type of thing. It's like, am I being intentional with a relationship I'm growing? Am I being intentional with every aspect? So if I'm growing, or people around me growing, because that's the end of the day, it should be flowing out of me, not just for myself. It shouldn't be a selfish thing. So because I'm young, I need to be also thinking, hey, down the line when I'm 40 years old, is this, where do you want to be? Like, is this, do you still want to be struggling with the same conversations that your parents were having about finances, and what I call is sustainable? Like, is that what you want? So it's like, your seasons can either be selfish or selfless. So it's that type of thing. Like, for me, I always try to be selfless in winter, because I feel like it's how you sow. Will you question the soil? Yes. Will you question your heart, your intentions? Yes. But it's part of the pruning and the crushing, and so you can eventually get to that beautiful new wine skin, you know. So yeah, I think for me it's that, like, you have to like figure, it's going and figuring out. It's uncertainty, it's uncomfortable, but it's going with it and just learning. And like you said, you don't know, so don't go in thinking in the last season I did this, I'm gonna try this. No, go in listening. Go in as a child and be teachable. Be open-minded to anything and everything, but at the same time, guard your heart. Because it's where you can get all the advice, but all the wrong advice. Or you can get all the right advice and not listen to it. So,
and another thing that we tend to do is that we focus on that light to a point of losing and missing the present. You know, because the present has its own blessing. The present has its own growth. You know, and we're so eager to get out of this pain. We're so eager to get out of the frustrations. You know, but the frustrations are meant for something. You know, at the end of the day, you know that we need to learn. Because it's really hard. It's so hard to just pause and ask yourself, what am I learning from this? You know, at that moment you are drowning. You cannot be asking, what am I learning? But you're drowning. You know, what am I learning? You know, at that point in time you lose focus. You know. And even if there's a light, it feels like there's no light. You know, because I'm drowning. Basically, I'm in pain. I am so broken. You know, and it feels like there's no tomorrow. You know, it feels like there's no tomorrow. And it feels like there's no such thing as 24 hours. It feels like now it's 72 hours in one day.
Yes.
You know?
This is not gonna
Exactly. When is summer coming? You know, but eventually we get through. You know, we get through with that hope. You know, sometimes the hope is not even there, but you're just talking to yourself. Like,
Hey.
you know,
Self-hype.
You got this.
You got it. Knowing.
You're doing great, sweetie.
you know, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah. No, like when you were saying about the intentions of your season, because I think sometimes, like, if you start off on a nice summer, sometimes your hope is in the flowers.
Yes.
Sure.
And you forget about the roots of where it started.
Yes.
So when winter comes and those flowers fall, it's like,
Sure.
what hope? What do you mean there were good times?
Yeah.
It's hard to see. And I think it's easier to see when you're done with the season. Because I've noticed that, like, when I'm in the season, I can't, I feel like I'm not learning anything. I feel like, what do you mean I've grown?
Yes.
I'm not seeing it.
Yes.
But when summer comes, you're like, oh wait, I did grow. Like, or a new season, not necessarily summer. Or even when you face a new winter after a winter, you're like, no man, I remember that winter I did this. But I would say for me, something I've noticed that I didn't really understand or like whatever was actually like mental health. Like that's my winters, like when I get into my head about a lot of things, or like God saying do this, God in your head, the voice in your head, but what if you fail, but what if this, what if that?
Sure.
And that's when I've noticed that that's when the drift between even me and God comes in. That's when the disconnect between me between me and what I'm supposed to do, between me and my new season, because I'm so in my head about it. I did say earlier on that with me, new sometimes is associated with anxiety, because it's like, what do you mean new? Like, what do you mean I now have to do new things that are going to challenge me, that are going to make me uncomfortable? So a lot of the challenges are, they may not even be happening in the real world, but because I'm so in my head about it. And like coming from the household I come from, even the culture I come from, mental health isn't like, what? You're dealing with what?
Yeah.
Stop playing games, go wash your dishes. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and it's hard to talk about it, but like now that I think back on it, I'm like, yo, I was an anxious child. Like, I was a very anxious child. And I'm glad now that I can like even talk about it, because I used to cry about it all the time, because I'm like, it feels like it's something I'm doing wrong. Like, why am I worrying? I mean, I'm a child of God. I shouldn't be worrying. He's got us. He's providing for us. Meanwhile, you know in your head, like, that's not what is really happening. So yeah, my winters, I would say, is even, like, it might not even be anything happening, but because I'm overthinking what could go wrong.
Sure.
That's when my winters actually really come in.
Sure. And it's very tough. It's very tough that actually something that we're supposed to be excited about, actually it brings anxiety.
Yes.
You know, where we're supposed to be celebrating, but still we are struggling to get into it.
Yeah.
You know, you need to just step in, but you finding yourself like, where is the flow? You know, I'm not stepping into anything.
What do you mean, John?
You know, and then the doubt comes into your mind, and you're thinking you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. You know, it's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep.
You can't
Go
say
back.
fall.
Go back.
Yes.
And then it's easy for you to go back.
Yes.
You know, but still, it's a new season. You know, and new season. Like when I think about the new season, I think about a new chapter. You know, that I need to page.
Yes.
You know, turn the page. And when you turn the page, once you already read about the previous story, now you're looking forward of the new chapter. You know, what is the chapter all about? So you even position yourself.
Yes.
You know,
let me
you
get
adjust
ready.
yourself.
Yes.
You know, that sometimes, you know, when you get to the fifth chapter and like, okay, I think I need to refill my glass. You know, okay, let me take a blanket.
Yes.
You know, because I think I need to be
I need
more
to settle
comfortable.
in,
You know,
yes.
so you position yourself.
Yes.
You know, you position yourself, and you gear yourself into, you know, you know what? I was really a little bit slow before. Then now I need to get to the higher gear because now the car is moving.
Yeah.
You know, and the more the car is moving, it gets faster and faster and faster. Now you need to pace yourself with the motion.
Yeah.
You know, so as I'm thinking about the new season, I'm thinking of the fact that I don't know anything and I can't bring my past, but now I need to be excited. You know, and you open yourself to like whatever that comes. So if there's whatever that comes and I get pushed back, and in the pushing I forget about the process. Now it always I think I get frustrated.
Yes.
I get frustrated the fact that like why now? Why now? And you lose focus totally. Now you already wrote your plans. You know, wrote your plans. Actually, God was just teaching me something. Beginning of like not beginning of the year, still the beginning of the year, last month. That we tend to focus on what we wrote down, and then when God brings something, you will reject it. We reject that thing because we feel like we're not comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not used to it, and to a point that you say that that's not me.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
that's
No,
not
no.
me. That's not me. You know, and I'm not gonna do it. But God says, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Have faith. You know, have faith. Take everything that you have learned from the previous seasons. You don't bring them, but just take the tools that you have learned, you know, and use them, you know, which is now you need to be rooted, you know, because now you cannot be shaken about the same thing that you have experienced. Now those things when they come, like I've been there.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there.
Try
You
again.
know, try again. Something new. Not this one. You know, I know the shot. You know, but how do you pace yourself in that new with that ability of I will do it. I can do it. You know, I'm not alone. You know, but how do you keep the consistency, the discipline of getting through that season still hyped? You know when you're running,
Yes.
you know, when you need to finish
Finish strong.
Yeah.
strong.
Finish strong.
You know, how do you pace yourself?
I think something that like every human knows the truth about, but when we have to actually do it, it becomes a struggle. And that's your quiet times.
Sure.
I think it's when you make a decision to put him first in everything that you do, because it's in that way. If you can be consistent with your relationship with him, everything else will just fall in line afterwards. If that makes sense. Like something that I'm still trying to get consistency with is something that's just like you say, keeping that fire burning, you know, and not getting it dim after every criticism or offense or. And I think
Rejection.
it's rejection.
Yes.
That no, it's that like, Lord, I think we're going somewhere, and I think that's the problem. You thought we were going somewhere. You say, Lord, I thought we were going somewhere, but it's actually supposed to be, Lord, where are you taking me? It shouldn't be your thoughts, because it's His thoughts. He knows the plans He has for you. You don't.
You don't.
So I think it's that thing of we set ourselves up for failure because we put ourselves in God's chair for our lives.
Sure.
So I think it's that thing where we try to make all these plans for ourselves, and it's always nice materialistic plans.
Yes.
And God's plans are all about the end,
Yeah.
eternal. So
Heaven's sake.
Sure.
It's literally for heaven's sake. So it's like, what are you doing for heaven's sake?
Sure.
So when you are busy making plans, are you planning for a billionaire's house, or are you planning for every person to have a home in heaven one day? It's sometimes being realistic and saying, you know what, if you're not like, Lord, I'm not meant to be a billionaire on this earth. At least show me how to be to have a heart of gold for the next person.
Sure.
I think it's all about the heart, and if your heart can be consistent in Him, everything else will flow, because literally everything starts and ends with Him at the end of the day. So I think that consistency starts with you being consistent with Him, because you can't expect to step into a new season but you haven't learned anything from your relationship with God. He's not telling you also how to navigate the season, because a lot of the times we write the plans in the old season. But now the plans were written in the old season because in that season it made sense to write those goals for yourself.
Sure.
But God's saying, no, I have the plans for that season and the previous season. So now you're holding on to your checklist from here, and now you're saying, Lord, please make sure that this is in that season. And He's telling you, no, this is actually, we're going to grow a bit. We're going to lose a bit. We're going to fail a bit. We're going to get tired. We're going to cry. And you're like, but I want to be happy. I want to run through the wind
Sprinkles,
and
rainbows.
sprinkle the rainbow and sunshine. He's like, no.
Yeah.
This is about endurance.
Yeah.
It's about patience, finishing strong. And
And
those things come with questioning everything sometimes. Like asking yourself, why?
Yeah.
Lord, what now? Like, because without those questions, we wouldn't be God. So sometimes you have to ask those questions to remind yourself, actually, I'm serving the one who knows everything, from beginning to end. So it's actually realizing that you're nothing,
Sure.
and facing the fact that we're nothing without Him. Because at the end of the day, it's like, cool, if I'm nothing and He's everything, then clearly you know what's best. And surrendering to that, and that's never easy. It's hard to surrender as a human because we are human. Our flesh is always going to say, no, we should go this way. This party looks nice, but you're supposed to be here spreading the gospel.
What about you?
What about you? What about this? And you're like, but Lord, all my peers are being like, yeah, but I set you apart for a reason.
Exactly.
So go do what I asked you to do. Next thing you're in the whale, like Jonah.
Hey,
Sure.
You know? So I think it's the type of thing where it's just a matter of like you understanding that we are here, we are breathing in and air in and out because He's giving you that. And just saying, you know what, I understand the season is old, the season is new, but at the same time I don't know, but you know. And that's also scary in itself.
Sure.
So and don't isolate yourself in that season of
I was
uncertainty.
just about to say.
When you're unsure about yourself in that season, that's when you reach out even more to people around you, because that's when the enemy's gonna, like you said, you go into your head, you go into your head a lot. And I find that sometimes my most darkest moments is when I've isolated myself instead of speaking out, because it's in speaking out when you can find healing, you can find revelation sometimes, and someone else can say, like, you know what, actually you're on my heart now that you're saying this. I actually want to bless you in this situation. No one will know how to add value into your life if you don't
say anything.
If you don't say anything. So it's like you need to actually speak for there to be a two-way relationship with people. You can't expect people to come to you if you don't go to them. That type of thing. So I think it's also understanding that in those seasons where you feel like you're okay, but you may find that your friend just got out of that season. So she's gonna be like, hey, or he's gonna be like, what's up? And I'll be like, you know, I'm going through this, and they can encourage you, keep you going. So I think it's also a community that can help you keep that spark where you can't remember why you did, but they're like, remember the time we spoke? And you said you want to do this, you want to be here. Have people remind you who you are in Christ, and have people that'll remind you of like why you did what you did in the first place. Because it's in that where you go, actually, you know what, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I remember now. Then you get that little spark back. Then you build on that little spark. It's a flame again. So yeah.
Sure.
Guys, she said it all. I don't even know. Like, why are we still here? Good night, everyone.
Wow. I want to hear yours.
No, I was gonna say, like, because obviously I have said to you guys that mentally I get into my head about things a lot. So my key to finishing strong now is going with people. I've heard this quote so many times, but if you want to go far, go alone.
Go fast.
If you want to go fast, go alone. Because you don't need anything else. But if you want to go far, go with others.
Sure.
So it's in that going with others where, and I mean, even literally what the service was about on Sunday, 3 is even better than 1. Like a 3 braided strand is better than 1 any day. And yeah, I've noticed that when I'm by myself, I get the easiest attacks because it's why, like it's my brain goes on constantly. But I know when I have my circle around me, my cell groups, like saying, listen, remember like what God has made you to be, remember his promises. Those things for me keep me stronger and push me to God even closer, because I know he has brought those people into my life to do that exact thing.
And and you know what, thinking about what you just said now, that you it's easy for you to grow through people. You know, that we also heal quicker with people. You know, because the minute we're in the circle and we share our stories and our challenges, it doesn't have to be the past or anything, but maybe something that I'm struggling with right now at this point in time. The minute I release it out of my mind, and then like immediately you feel that lightness. Like there's something that just it's like I took off something. You know, it's even better now when I receive the support. You know, when I receive the love that, you know what, you're not alone. You know, even if you don't say that, but the fact that you're listening to me, you know, the fact that you are next to me, it feels like, you know what, well, I got this, you know, actually. And I guess that's finishing strong, you know, because moving along with them, you know, makes you feel that, you know what, I cannot, even if I fall, someone will pull me back, you know, and even if I fall, I'll fall on someone, you know, because that's the most important thing, that when you fall, who picks you up? You know, when you feel like those doubts and you have that voice that keeps on bringing fear, you know, who do you share that fear with? You know, will that person help you to change that fear to faith? You know, because the minute you let go of that fear and someone else brings the faith into you, so now if someone is pouring something into you so that your cup can be filled, and that's why now that every day we need to fill ourselves, because we don't know that what are we gonna face throughout the day, you know. The 5 a.m. people, they always say that I need to fill myself in the morning, so that whatever that comes, I'm ready with it. I'm like, you know, guys.
It couldn't be me.
I'm the night before filling up.
We'll get there one day. You know, we need to know our weaknesses.
Yes.
You know, we need to understand our weaknesses so that when we experience those things, that you don't get shocked.
Yes.
You know, you understand that, okay, that's my weakness, you know. And the minute you confess your weakness, then it becomes your strength, you know. So I love that. I love the fact that the topic about the new season, because sometimes we really, new season brings anxiety, you know, and sometimes we miss our new season because of holding on to the old, you know. So that's what actually was running through my mind. I was like, how do other people tackle new season? You know, because we're constantly saying that it's a new season, but end of the month, it's a new season, like it's a new season, but you don't write anything. What is it that actually happened, you know? But because we're so expectant of the big things, we miss the small things of waking up in the morning, you know. The fact that man, there were people that came over to my place and we had fun. You missed the new dawn, you know. New dawn, the figure, wow. Yes. So yeah, it's good to hear different perspectives about new season and new baby, you know, because sometimes when that baby is coming, there's so many tiredness, you know, you can't sleep. It's hot. I know you don't know about that.
I can relate.
Yes, but people will relate, you know. You know when that baby comes, you know, there's so many things. You are so excited. You can't wait to see this baby. But at the same time, you're thinking to yourself that it's so heavy. Can it just come now? You know, but everything happens for a reason. There's a reason for everything. You know, the pain, there's a reason for it. You know, the challenges, there's a reason for it. And also the anxiety, there's a reason for it. You know, that we just need to not embrace it, but understand it and move on.
Sure.
And not hold on to it. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being with me in this conversation, just having this fun talk.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
I'm ready to become a series regular now. I'm ready.
Did you hear that?
My evenings are open in this new season.
We need to get chairs that have our names.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a beautiful conversation.
I have one thing to say to them. I feel like you know what I want to say
I
to
don't
them.
know. I don't know.
Okay,
But I don't want to be
cool.
called out like me. Like I don't want to be called out.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
No, me,
Guys,
I'm forward like that.
we love having conversations. We want you guys to comment and say like, what are your seasons? How
Yeah.
do you challenge? How do you tackle new seasons? You know that whole.
How do you learn?
How do you
grow?
learn? How do you grow? How do you let go? How do you
Yes.
hold on to? You know? Yeah. But also, like,
Subscribe.
share.
Notification bell. We do want to see you next time. We
Yes.
love having you guys here. And Yolanda, would you like to say anything to wrap it up, or can we peace out?
So much, guys, for taking some time and listening to our conversation. Hoping that you learned something, hoping that you jot down something, you know, that okay, that I'm gonna use that technique, you know, because sometimes we learn from each other, we grow through each other. So
Maybe comment in the section, do you want to see us again?
well, you know,
We want
you
more.
can also do that. So it's been great, it's been fun. Hopefully that one day you will enjoy, you will have fun with us
Yes.
and join us in this conversation. And we'll be talking about more topics, you know, things that we go through, you know, things that we experience, so that we learn from each other, so that we don't get stuck
Sure.
into the old season. We need to experience new seasons, and we also need to experience the current season, because the current season also has blessings. You know, the blessings, small blessings, broad blessings, they can be big blessings. So we don't have to focus on the big things. That because we always have this thing of I'm praying for a house,
Yes.
you know, a car.
This big thing.
There's big things, and these things don't come, you know, because you still need to sort out your finances.
Yes.
You know, so learning about your finances, that's the step that we need to be grateful for. You know, learning to talk about finances, your challenges, your debt, and all of those things, those are blessings at the same time. So with all that, thank you so much, and we can't wait to share another video with you. And I love you so much, guys, and I love you too.